Okay. It's been a while since I've done a commentated game, so I might be out of practice, but I say that every time. What do we got today on this training program game? Mixed Poppo, thank you for honoring tradition of the stream. Last game of the stream, got to play Mixed Poppo. Marc, Alte, and Repa. Okay. Potential encounters here, right? None of these characters are particularly super aggressive characters, other than perhaps Marc, but Alte can be, right? She's gonna try to explode. Repa isn't, but if Repa sees a character with -1 attack, she could, she could try and do something. She can get some free passive procs off of Poppo. And Marc, it depends on the person controlling Marc. Marc can be aggro, so we'll see what our players decide to do here. Could be anything. Let's call it tradition. Yeah, it was intentional. It was on purpose. Okay, our Repa player loves to do sick dodges, so we can look forward to that. 2 wins straight out the gate from 2 neutral monsters by Marc. You love to see it. It's, I say this every single game without fail, but I have to interrupt myself because Alte starts a fight with Repa, rolls a 6. The incredible evade rolling a 6. That is a sick and crazy dodge. You are a psycho for rolling that, but it works out, and you deal 1 damage to Alte and continue to live. That's, straight out the gate, turn 1. Well, turn 2, but who's counting? Okay, well, put the insane Repa dodge counters up to 1, I guess. It begins. I was gonna say that I say this every time I commentate a game, that you love to get an early 2 wins because it means you get a clear, quick, easy path to level 3 before reaching a star threshold where you would normally be at level 3, which can potentially unlock your hyper a lot earlier than you were, intended to. For Marc, that doesn't really matter because her hyper scales. A 3 damage missile isn't that much different from a 2 damage missile, as Mixed Poppo starts a fight with Repa in order to land on the home. No, in order to land on the bonus panel, actually. So no Norma there. Guarantees pretty much, like I said earlier, that she's going to be getting hit by Repa's passive. I'm being told that the Mixed Poppo player already has a hand that I would be jealous of, and indeed I am jealous of. And we're going to get to watch fishing. Which means we're cutting to commercial break. This stream is brought to you by me. Go play my card game that I made. There's a big update coming soon. Go play it. Steam Workshop. Tabletop Simulator. That's all. Whoever said it last stream that it's weird that you get to see all the fish is correct. I agree. It is weird that you get to see it. It's like strangely high definition. It's like uncomfortably high definition. I wonder how they programmed the fish speeds. Because there was like 2 red fish there that were going at almost the same speeds. 2 more wins for Marc. I alt-tabbed out of everything. But 2 more wins for Marc. Bringing her up to 4. It's going to be... Honestly, you might commit to wins this early as Marc. You can, if you get missile draws... We'll see if they can get lucky with their draws. I didn't even check out the field events. Regen and Playground. Ooh, so lots of healing. Pretty beneficial to Mixed Poppo. Pretty fucking detrimental to both Marc and Repa, as both of those 2 level up. Fishing did give Alte enough for her to be on 2 wins on the quick trek to level 3, which actually is useful for Alte, since her character requires level 3 to use her hyper and start stacking her passive. Marc locks in the wins Norma at 4 out of 5 wins, so it looks like that is the road they're going to be going, at least for now. We'll see how things shake up as the game goes on. Poppo, our only player yet to hit level 2, joins everybody else on the level 2 club. Does have 30 stars, is ready to hit level 3. We'll see. I've heard some... I'm very curious because I feel like this player isn't known for their Mixed Poppo like some of our other players. Me and another player have gone back and forth on our thoughts and feelings on the level 2 versus level 3 versus level 4 Mixed Poppo. But there's kind of this prevailing agreement for all Mixed Poppo players that level 4 is agony. Level 4 is where you don't want to be. So we'll see. They're going to get to level 3 pretty quick, no problem, but we'll see how long it takes if they get stuck in the valley of level 4. Bloodlust shows up for Repa. I can't imagine she's going to hang on to that, and indeed discards it immediately. And lands on a home panel immediately to offset that 1 damage dealt by the Bloodlust. Okay, Repa's level 3 now. Her hyper is a level 1 hyper and free, so she really doesn't care about levels. What would Repa care about from levels? Maybe the event card that increases your evade that I don't remember the name of. Rainbow Colored Circle is level 2, right? So, she's not as level reliant as some of the other characters, is all I'm trying to get at. Accelerating Sky, yes, thank you. And speaking of, Play of the Gods brings out a subspace tunnel. Yo, what's up, Filibuster? If you're the Poppo player, you hate that. Well, you get a free hyper out of it, but it does mean that you get, like, you know, what is the word? A not perfect, an imperfect hyper, because it's only level 2 hyper. Maybe you can get some draw out of it and try and recover a hyper, but it's honestly pretty detrimental to the Mixed Poppo playstyle. As our first playground comes out, Alte has to spin a wheel. Really good things on this wheel. Joker's on this wheel, but won't find it. We'll find a battle. Hey, but you win the battle, so that's another win under your belt. I'm looking around at our stats and our cards, the fault in our cards. I wonder if Marc flight training is still broken. Don't go above anything. Always try to dodge below if possible. But no cards in hand for Marc. 1 card in hand for Mixed Poppo. Probably is another hyper. And the other 2 are kind of have a lot of cards. So if this Marc plan is going to pan out, if we're going to go wins Marc, we probably got to get some missiles here. Oh, you got hit once, but still got stars out of the deal. Okay, well, good deal, I suppose. I'm gonna take a sip of water real quick. This is my first commentated OJ game with the new mic. Yeah, I was sipping water while that happened, but Mixed Poppo got another neutral monster kill. Lots of wins going around. I know we got 3 wins added to the pool because of fishing, but a lot of neutral monster death coming out of the woodwork as Mixed Poppo joins everybody else in level 3. Level 3, very pivotal moment for the Mixed Poppo gameplay, because you can really start making profit with warps. And this, honestly, there are some maps that are good and bad for Mixed Poppo with their warp placement. This is not a bad one, as she gets straight out the gate a free warp on turn 1 on her first turn of level 3. So love to see it. Gets a draw out of it too. Marc got a draw last turn. Might have a missile, might not. Gets her 5th win out of Chicken. Now, she is ready to get up to level 4, which will summon the boss. There's, you have to reconcile with yourself when you're in this position of, do I hit level 4, which will summon the boss and make win income harder, or do I try and put off my own level 4 level up to farm wins from neutral monsters? You're not going to get a choice. You're going to roll a 1, and you're going to land on the home panel no matter what. Try to fight Repa, maybe get 2 more wins out of the deal, which maybe changes how you're going to decide. And you do get that kill on Repa with a high roll. So now you have to decide, are you going to commit to the wins Norma in a situation where it's going to be a lot harder to find those wins? Granted, okay, you commit to the stars Norma. I don't blame you for that. I was going to say, granted, you... granted your missiles get upgraded, so it becomes maybe easier to kill other players with your missiles to get wins, but I do not blame you at all for choosing stars, Norma. Very fair. Very, very, very fair. I'm about to hate you for what you're about to do. Why, are you going to level up to level 4 as Mixed Poppo and get stuck in the in the gulag that is level 4 Mixed Poppo? You got a few options here. Do you want stars? Do you want a playground? Do you want to level up? We shall see. But that kill on Repa does set her back pretty significantly. Boss is now spawned, which is kind of a buff for Repa. Did Pika disconnect? I think, oh, no. Never mind. No disconnect. I think boss spawning is beneficial for Repa more than it is beneficial for any other character. as we have a fight between Marc and Alte. Marc's gonna soften up Alte a little bit. Doesn't deal lethal damage, but brings her down to 3. Marc taking 1 in return. I combined Marc and Alt into Malt. You wanted to go level 4 the moment you hit 70 stars? Well, then why aren't you doing it now that you got 90? All right, you are doing it. Okay, level 4 Mixed Poppo means you're going to have an opportunity to draw a lot of cards. So if you can avoid dying and draw some cards, you can get hypers. You can go on a warping spree level 5 and generate a lot of income really quickly. But if you get killed once, then level 4 feels horrible for Mixed Poppo. So we'll see. Marc choosing not to fight Mixed Poppo. So, not to fight Mixed Poppo and not to fight Alte as well, which is interesting. I did not try to influence you. Mute me if you you're mad about it. Ooh, first boss fight comes out of Marc. Marc is the most, well, tied for the most equipped to survive this. It is the robot boss, so it's not as scary as if it was manager or golem, but Marc and Alte both have the 1 defense, so they're a little bit more equipped to survive boss encounters than the other characters. As Repa starts a fight with Poppo with Big Magnum, she might be trying to go for a one-shot. Doesn't roll quite high enough to do enough damage, and doesn't find the evade either. The evade roll failing her. You can't win them all. As Mixed Poppo finds a nice payday and has enough stars now for the level 5 threshold. Marc puts down an energy drink as I take a sip from my drink. Alte starts to fight with Mixed Poppo. Does not play a self-destruct. Is just going to get softened up here. It's a pretty safe person to fight if your goal is to get softened up. You can almost guarantee that you're going to take 1 damage every time because of the differing stat lines between Mixed Poppo and Alte. Mixed Poppo here making a decision that will that makes me very angry, which is using your hyper at level 4, but it is what it is. It's still, you know, has not taken herself out of range of being able to level up to level 5, so it's not the worst thing in the world you could do. As our other players are moving around the board. You have -1 defense? What the fuck? I always thought that Alte had +1 defense. This whole time, I thought Alte had +1 defense. Self-destruct comes out. She's going to try to use it on Repa, who started a fight with her. Not going to destroy too many cards, but she does get her first stack. I guess I don't know that Alte has negative defense. I thought she had positive defense this entire time. So I take it back. Only Marc is well equipped to fight the boss. My fault. Whew. Oh, you know, I didn't even consider that Mixed Poppo was using her hyper specifically as a defensive option to avoid the people behind her that were trying to kill her. I only think about Mixed Poppo's hyper as a means to generate wealth. I forget that you can, if you were playing Mixed Poppo and you were actually trying to win instead of trying to be flashy, that you could actually use it defensively to try and, you know, keep yourself alive. I forget you could do that. Because when I play a Mixed Poppo, I have a very one-track mind, and I go for the clip, and that's it. Drop panel going to do a little bit of damage to Marc, to Mixed Poppo's bank account, but not much. Speaking of Marc, she is our first player to hit level 5. 5 damage missiles now on board for her, although we probably won't see any missiles for the rest of the game, as she locks in stars. Norma Alte picks goes to self-destruct against the boss, but accidentally evades too good, and doesn't end up blowing the boss up. Mixed Poppo joining Marc on level 5. 2 players now level 5, both in decently close to each other in terms of stars, although Mixed Poppo can generate them a lot faster than Marc can. I say as Marc gets a nice kill on a seagull. But we'll see. It's a close race. They literally have the exact same star count as of this turn, so very close race. Alte has 1 card in hand, but used what potentially could have been the only self-destruct in hand. Drew another card. We don't know what it is. Repa has a lot of power in this instance, right? If either of our winning players slip up and land on a boss panel, Repa can keep them there and nearly guarantee their demise. Marc less so, Mixed Poppo almost certainly. And Mixed Poppo is probably the more preferable target because she can generate stars a lot faster than Marc can, although Marc is sitting very pretty. It's going to take probably a stray insane robot boss punch or an Alte explosion at this point to stop Marc. Repa's going to start a fight with Mixed Poppo, trying to gain back some ground in this game, some agency, but Mixed Poppo's rolls are too insane to find any agency. And she's another warp panel for Mixed Poppo, another source of income, as Marc has to make that faithful training program decision. It's time for boss fight or drop panel. Chooses the drop panel and drops 30 stars on the floor, nearly locking in Mixed Poppo's lead. Well, locking in her lead, but nearly locking in her win. There's still a chance. Trap card on Alte's home. What trap cards are run by these characters? It could be a go away. Mixed Poppo could pack go away. Ooh, the energy drink is gone. Mixed Poppo finds a fight with the boss. It is a max roll, and it does deal lethal damage. Mixed Poppo, 200 stars, was at the threshold to win, and the boss has taken it away from her. This is now a race once again. Marc is back in it as she is, you know, metaphorically taking up Poppo with this carnival game. It's a little rude, but... One win for Marc. It's funny because this game has personality. The game is saying to Mixed Poppo, I will not let you get a warping spree and win that easily. And the game is saying to Marc, why didn't you choose wins, Norma, Marc? Finding any reason it can to give Marc more wins to rub it in. It's a funny game, this one that we play. Spin the wheel here for Repa. Not really any good rewards. You can get stars out of it, I guess, but oh well. Marc is at 130. Income bonus is up to 6, so still many turns away from you know, a guaranteed win here. Does not quite kill the seagull. Is going to survive the encounter though, because she's Marc. Alte's got 2 cards in hand. From their chat messages, it's almost implied that they might have a gift exchange, maybe? I don't know, though. We'll see. There is a trap card on her home. Choosing not to land on it. Fights Repa instead. Finds a low damage attack, which means she will take 1 damage from Repa's passive. And we'll go down to 2 total. If she has a self-destruct, being at low HP is good, and if she doesn't, it's bad. And there's a go away. I literally called it. Put some respect on my name as a commentator and as somebody who has knowledge about this game. Put some respect on it, because I called that trap card. Anyway, Seagull encounter here is going to bring Alte back down to 2 after she went up to 3 after that home panel. And Repa is going to be the one probably to finish off the Seagull. Never mind. Commentator's Curse jinxed it, but she will find it with her passive ping. Has enough now to level up to level 4. So it's progress. Marc's up to 142 stars. Slow but steady progress. Back up to full HP. Still anyone's game, right? There's still an opportunity for either Alte or Repa to kill Marc. Heat comes out and applies to Alte, and Repa, it's level 4. Like I said, it takes one good Witch's Hairlock to shut somebody down, right? It takes one good self-destruct to shut somebody down, so none of our players are out of the woods yet. Even though you might look at this stat line and think there's a massive disparity between the top 2 and the bottom 2, I disagree. Because the bottom 2 have the tools necessary to completely shake everything up at a moment's notice. Okay, nice, Poppo. Have a spin the wheel where you get no good reward. I guess warp is a good reward for you, but too bad you're moving backwards. Training program moment. You got to choose boss panel or drop. This time goes for the drop. Not willing to risk the half-star loss, instead taking a minor star loss. Same decision being offered to Repa, although she gets Playground or Playground. It's interesting, the drop panel versus boss panel choice. I believe the boss is at 3 HP, might be at 2. There is an argument to be made that, like, you don't want to soften up the boss in order to give somebody else the chance to profit from your work, and you'd rather just take the drop panel. I don't know, but Alte starts a fight with Marc and takes her out one shot, no issue. Self-destruct was played, but it was not needed. Did I see that right? Was self-destruct played in that battle and just one-shot Marc, didn't even need it? Craziness. Like I said, rankings shaken up. No, unfortunately, Desta, this is going to be the last game of the day. And I'm commentating it. So my voice is going to be shot. But Alte uses this opportunity to get to level 4. Very nice. Oh, rip. Sorry about that. Oh, boss is at 4 HP. Wow, that's way more than I thought he had. Draw 2 from Mixed Poppo. I wonder if she's going to find any hypers to generate income with. Going for the draw panel, I respect the hell out of that choice. You have time, right? Yes, Alte has more stars than you, but she's 1 level lower than you. So she still has to level up 1 more time before she can win. So if you do manage to find some hypers as Mixed Poppo and get on a good warping spree and just generate a bunch of income, yeah, you could just take the win in 1 turn, right? You're not too worried about rushing stars, but we'll see. Sealed Guardian played by Marc while she's standing behind Poppo is going to take that fight. Bear in mind, she spent 50 stars on that and is going to profit 70. So she profited 20 total, is up to 120. Mixed Poppo had a mushroom. The mushroom was only a +1 defense mushroom, so it didn't bail her out. I agree, you could have reached Alte. Alte also... it's a rough one. Alte could have potentially had a self-destruct, but at the same time, you kind of have to check her. So I don't know. It's also threat assessment, right? Like I said, yes, Alte had more stars than you, but she's 1 level lower. So does your threat assessment tell you you're more worried about the more stars and the more star potential out of Mixed Poppo, or does it tell you that you're worried about the more total stars from Alte? Because, like, at worst, she has to make, like, 2 more laps around the board, right? And if she gets bad RNG, she could just have to do that. So, I could see an argument either way. I don't hate that choice. As Alte, with her warp control, can make a decision. Chooses to land on her Norma. Max Norma is 9 stars away from leveling. Now, with the turn of the turn, is 1 star away. Cloud of Seagulls played. Yeah, the Marc minigame is bugged. If you out there ever get the Marc minigame, listening to this, prioritize going under platforms over going over them, because going over platforms is bugged. And prioritize going to the left of platforms over going to the right of platforms, because going to the right of platforms is bugged. Anyway, we got a fight here between Mixed Poppo and Alte. You gotta swing. Alte does not play a self-destruct, so just gonna exchange 1 damage each. You have to fight the Alte. I respect that choice. It's just, is she going to have a self-destruct is the name of the game. If she does, then that's pretty good trigger discipline to not immediately bust it out, recognizing that Mixed Poppo probably isn't gonna one-shot you at 3 health. So good trigger discipline there. A little bit of a drop panel, but nothing that's going to take you out of match point. As Repa finds her own home, gets up to level 5 with with everybody else. Mixed Poppo continues the fight, finds another 1 damage. Alte down to 1 damage, all down to 1 HP. Mixed Poppo down to 2. Does she have a self-destruct is the name of the game. Big rocket coming out. Hits Alte. That is an interesting choice because that pretty much locks in Alte's win. It does prevent Mixed Poppo from getting those stars and from getting up to match point herself. But Alte is going to get up, maybe not immediately. Oh, she gets up immediately, of course. Why wouldn't you? And is now ready to lock in and make it to the end and win. Repa is 26 stars away. Now 20, now 12. 12, 20. 12, 20 mentioned. It's looking... Yeah, that's game, depending on what this Play of the Gods is. Star Blasting Light, that is game. That is, it is Kingmaker. It is very funny that Marc got 13 wins in the end. Very funny. The Star Blasting Light comes out, doesn't really make any progress. Marc fighting... Marc fighting Poppo there kind of, yeah, locks in. Well, I don't know. Alte didn't roll high enough to actually fight Poppo, which is kind of insane. Because if Alte fought Poppo there, that's a free win. That's game. That's GG. That's game over, right? If there's an argument to be made, if you were a psychopath, you could, as Mixed Poppo, intentionally let Marc kill you so that Alte has to fight Marc instead of you and can't win. If you were petty, you could be like, fuck Alte, I'm gonna intentionally die to Marc so that they have to fight each other. But no, instead what happens is nobody that I just mentioned wins, and instead Repa wins. She found the stars passively without interacting with anybody else, and she wins. Good for her. GG's.